In today's car news, new level 3 autonomous driving technology that is already available in the US. Also, the all-new G-Wagon EV from Mercedes that claim to be one of the best off-road vehicles among gasoline and EVs, as well as BMW 4 Series getting a new kidney grille design and more. First story, Mercedes announced first ever EV G-Class G580 EQG. This topic isn't new as it has been covered already, but the car was in prototype stage. Now we have leaks of the specs, price range, and production look. The Geländewagen EV advertised its main point on off-road capabilities, although there are gonna be different configuration of this car as off-road variants and more regular variants. And it also can do this. Mercedes said following, quote, "Powered by intelligent system, the G580 with EQ technology demonstrate outstanding off-road capabilities, from improved maneuverability with G-steering to intelligent off-road crawling function to the G-turn enabling up to 720 degrees turn on the spot. And the EV can also make a G-roar."
That's what we call G-roar.
Overall, it's pretty interesting as G580 have 4 independence motors that are set on each wheel, and car will be capable of controlling speed and torque for each motor individually. On top of that, the new G-Class will have 2-speed gearbox, Mercedes calling it low-range gearing. Basically, this made mainly for off-road to save the battery and made less stress on the motors. But I'm still wondering how reliable this system will be in comparison to other EVs. I'm also wondering how fast it can burn the tires on the asphalt. Although it's only capable to do 720 degrees, but the question is, why not 360? Because if you miss your turn, you still can do another one, but then can you go in the opposite direction right after you made 720 to the right? Then I guess we'll find out. Based on the Mercedes-Benz testing hub, the car doing pretty well, and it looks like it was tested in different conditions, where it was compared to the original G63 AMG. The website have footage from ice track in Sweden to Perpignan in France wildness, where digging through the muddy roads and deep water, and crawling on the mountains through the rocks and more. Based off the ex-user Sawyer Merritt, the starting price will be $180,000, which include 116 kilowatt battery with an estimated range of 250 miles and a fast charging limited to up to 200 kilowatts, which is basically going to be able to charge the EV from 10 to 80 in about 30 minutes. The new G-Wagon EV was also raised, so now it's higher than its original version, and it also can drive through the water up to 33.5 inch deep versus 27.6 for ICE model. As of now, there is no official spec sheet from Mercedes, and the data isn't that great because different sources showing the different data. As for example, Goodwood.com said the battery range will be 294 miles, which is more than the Sawyer Merritt ex-user claim. In comparison to other EVs on the market, as Tesla Cybertruck and Rivian R1S, for example, the specs for new G-Class is yikes. For example, cheapest Cybertruck will cost you around $60,000 for a single motor version with estimated range of 250 miles, which is kind of understandable. This is the cheapest model. Whereas 2-motor version is $80,000 and capable of going up to 340 miles, and the 3-motor version will cost 100,000 miles with 320 miles of range. Whereas the Rivian R1S directly competing to the Cybertruck, and it also have 3 different models on the website, and the price range goes from $70,000 all the way to $100,000, and the range is also going to be variable based on the package you're going to receive. But as of now, the Mercedes doesn't look that appealing as some other EVs on the market, although it might gonna change after it's gonna be released to public. The combined power output for G580 is 579 horsepower, and it can accelerate from 0 to 62 miles per hour or 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.7 seconds. As Rivian R1S that can go from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, and 3-motor Cybertruck will be capable to go from 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds, which is insane. Not like you need such a fast acceleration for a truck, especially with the latest recall where the acceleration pedal could stock on 100% if you floor it on the Cybertruck. But with that aside, if you're paying such a money for Mercedes, you at least should compete respectively to other EV trucks on the market. Although Mercedes still have a lot to offer, as we'll expect to see a lot of premium from materials to technologies. Overall, the range isn't good unless it can drive for 250 miles in off-road condition, but if not, it might end up being original G-Wagon problem, as it wasn't well received very from the start. But who knows, it really can be something awesome. As for appearance, the G580 is indeed very similar to previous or the gas-powered version, although it did receive a couple of upgrades, such as new look for the front grille with the LED strips around. Another addition was the aerodynamic vents on the rear wheel guards, which should help to avoid wheel drags and increase battery efficiency. The hood bonnet was raised as well, as some of the small plastic insert was done for pretty much the same purpose. Another interesting change was done to a spare wheel, which is now a cover for another compartment. I'm not sure if that's gonna go into the production model, because this was the live stream from presentation, but in any case. So now after you remove that spare wheel cover, we have another compartment, which contains less space than a glove box, despite being the size of the spare tire. Anyway, its only purpose to carry a charging wire. The interior is as you would expect to see from a Mercedes luxury brand. It features a lot of updates and upgrades from original G-Wagon. Overall, the car looks really similar to its predecessor or the gasoline-powered engine. So apparently, interior will be somewhat similar, but the price tag will be higher. More like they going to be advertising something specifically, like for example this 4-motor technology, off-road technology, and that's why we are charging so much, because we made something that not a lot of company made. Plus we are a luxury brand. You having the full package with just pretty much going on vacation, but just sitting in your car and feel like you're on vacation and crawling through the mountains and stuff like that. In any case, as of now, there is no official source of price or the specs, as I mentioned before, and delivery starts in late 2024. The next stop is Drive Pilot by Mercedes. Apparently, this is the first company to gain US approval for its Level 3 autonomous driving system. Then Mercedes call it Drive Pilot, Driver Pilot, not Drive Pilot, but Driver Pilot, which is already certified to perform on the major freeways in California and parts of Nevada. Mercedes stated following, quote, "Our technology relies on a digital high-definition map that provides a 3D image of the road and the surrounding with the information on the road geometry, road characteristic, traffic signs, and special traffic events. This map shows available roads at the time of editing. Doesn't seem much, but it's just starting, and it will be expanding as far as more cars with this technology are on the roads. For right now, the Mercedes doesn't offer Driver Pilot as it's still in the beta testing stage, but if you have the latest S-Class or EV EQE, you may contact the Sport to unlock these features. On the other hand, only parts of California and Nevada available for this technology for right now. But what is so cool about this new Driver Pilot? As we already have the Tesla Autopilot. But the Tesla Autopilot is rated as Level 2 system. So to further define what is Level 3 certification in comparison, we'll need to take a look at the SAE certification, or Society of Automotive Engineers. This is a global organization that set industry standards and provide a professional development for engineers and technical experts in the automotive, aerospace, and commercial vehicle industries, established in 1905. The SAE is known for developing technology, publications, and classifications for vehicle automation levels. They have 5 levels and the count starts from 0, which is no automation. Level 1 features a single automated system for driver assistance, such as steering line detection or accelerating and holding speed and the distance behind another vehicle, which we all know as cruise control. Level 2, on the other hand, is Advanced Driver Assistance System, or ADAS. The vehicle can control both steering and acceleration, deceleration, and as we mentioned earlier, the Tesla Autopilot qualifies as level 2, which requires to have hands on the steering wheel and obviously the driver in the driver's seat. Now to the level 3. This is a huge jump from level 2, but still require a human presence. So level 3 automation allows driver to be fully distracted and not really pay attention to the road conditions, as the car fully takes control of driving and allows the driver to take hands off the steering wheel and immerse yourself in your cell phone, or use the car's central console display to watch a movie or play a Tetris game as well. However, the person still needs to remain behind the steering wheel, as the car could ask the driver to take control under certain conditions. As of now, the speed is limited to 40 miles per hour in traffic. Now to level 4 system, which is fully automated and does not require a pilot or the driver, but it still can be override manually, as it has steering wheel and pedals. And there are already companies like Navia, Waymo and Magna that is operational, and you've probably seen those in different regions of US. And the last one, and it's level 5, which does not require human attention whatsoever, or potentially will not have steering wheel and pedals, and will be capable to doing any type of operations on its own without any human presence or human control from behind a computer or stuff like that. Apparently this is not the first car with conditional automation, as there was claims from manufacturers like Audi back in 2019 that the A8 will have a level 3 autonomous system. But after the US changed the regulation and certification, the car ended up classified as level 2. The company also made a video explainer on how the system works and what sensors it uses to scan and detect the road condition, which I think is pretty nice short visual that tells you the basics of their technology. Next story. Apparently the 2025 BMW i4 and 4 Series Gran Coupe get a all new redesigned kidney grills. Just when you get used to the old one or the current one, and now you have even bigger changes. The BMW i4 and 4 Series Gran Coupe was presented on Auto China 2024 in Beijing on April 24th and 25th, where the company present a new facelift for those cars. In any case, the front end is now redesigned, and in direct comparison, it still have trace of the previous design. It's not like it's completely redesigned from scratch, but it still looks pretty similar to the previous one, but it's actually different. The BMW i4 and the 4 Series Gran Coupe now features a new BMW kidney grille. Overall geometry are similar to the previous models, although now it's in matte chrome for the standard or for the AM Sport package. The i4 grille is fully enclosed above with a black high gloss surface, and below topped with the matte silver honeycomb pattern, but now it's divided on the bottom half that makes it a little hybrid in between the regular i4 design at the top and more aggressive slots at the bottom. Another huge change is the headlights, which got completely redesigned and now have 2 vertical lights. But those are optional, and if you get them, you'll also get the laser tail lights that were inspired by M4 CSL, and they look sharp. On the other hand, the 4 Series Gran Coupe air intakes are now in matte curd silver finish, but overall the Gran Coupe have similar updates as i4. And the rear bumper also received a black high gloss diffuser elements for both models. The Gran Coupe exhaust tailpipes have grown to 4 inches in diameter now. And that's about it for the exterior. There is not much to say, more like or not to like, but for now it's just a facelift and it only applies for the 4 Series models. Because I think that BMW doing it strategically and preparing to change the front grille design soon for all new models. For the rest weeks, the Gran Coupe with 4-cylinder engine will have add-on 48-volt hybrid battery system. Also, the update will give a 6-cylinder engine. This is the first time ever the BMW doing that. Other changes include slightly updated interior, as iDrive 8.5 software that will change some controls to climate control and heated seats and the steering wheel. Both models will have new interior material options like new brushed aluminum trim option and 2 new open-pore wood options. The i4 and 4 Series Gran Coupe are planned to start production in July of 2025, and there is no info on the price yet. The last story is also pretty short. The Tesla CEO Elon Musk made a post on X showing that Consumer Report graph that represent the cheapest car brands to maintain in the long term. And on the first place, as you guessed, the Tesla. This is pretty believable as the EV does not require regular maintenance versus internal combustion engine powered cars. Although this data isn't that great in comparison to sources like RepairPal and other independent so-called studies. Based off the original source, the Buick is on the second place, and the Honda is somewhere closer to the middle of the stack, which is breaking all of the stereotypes. But the report most likely isn't that wrong since the data is gathered from every model of the brand. And this is the ratio for the brand and not for the specific model. But it still misrepresents a lot since the chart doesn't really show the worst and the best cars, or the models for the specific brand, for example, like Tesla. And there's models that doesn't really do well in terms of reliability, whereas the other models will be great. So that's kind of my main takeaway. Be really cautious in terms of those kind of information that provided by some people. It just creates a little contradiction, as for example, inside EV.com page showed the worst EVs of 2023. And the Tesla Model X is in the 3rd place and the Model S on the 7th place. And this is the rating of the most unreliable EVs. Another one is by RepairPal. Have interesting data as well on the Buick, whereas the RepairPal average for the Buick is 3.75 out of 5, which isn't that bad, but it's not that great either. Still, 2 models that ranked at 3 out of 5 and 4 models is ranked at 4. So we have kind of a lower average, whereas it's kind of hard to believe that the Buick is still higher than Honda. Although I guess Honda have pretty bad cars, some of the models. And again, if we take a look on one of the best and most reliable cars with the RepairPal reliability rating, the Honda and Acura ratings are at 4 out of 5. Those 2 brands are in the top 10 most reliable cars based off the RepairPal research. Overall, the Consumer Report isn't that bad, but it's still too scattered to be reliable. So I wouldn't rely on it, but would take it as interesting viewpoint or like general information, except for lower stack as BMW, Mercedes, Porsche, Audi, and basically most of the European brands. Usually they have worse reliability rating and most expensive maintenance. And that's it for this week. I'm planning on uploading every 2 weeks for now. In the future, that's gonna be coming down to every week. Don't know in terms of the day of uploads, most likely at the end of the week, which is gonna be Friday evening or Saturday morning. We'll see, still deciding on that. As of addition to the plans for future and the way this content is going to be built, I'm still working on it, by the way, and nothing of that is settled. I'm planning on having additional topics to that. Today we had only 4 topics. I only testing the stuff and trying to figure out the flow and the way of editing and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff behind the scene going on, but as of right now, I'm gonna be creating the content with main stack, like the intro. Then I would have first topic, which is gonna be updates, really short one, really brief one. And this is going to be mainly updates for the news. If so, how we're gonna be doing them, or if they're gonna be paused, or they're gonna be, or I will start doing it every week, for example. I'm gonna have that in the first topic, and I will try to limit that to like 1 or 2 minutes at max. For a particular episode, it's pretty short one, whereas the future episode, I'm kind of planning on around 15 to 20 minutes for now. Not sure yet again. But the main stack will include the up-to-date news, and they will include the most relevant information to the past week. Whereas, for example, like I said, the leaks, the related car news, new releases, and some other stuff. Maybe some financial data on the cars or the companies. As for it now, and as I'm doing every 2 weeks, the news release, the last story I'm planning on doing like the bulk of the stories. So for example, the length of the last story will be approximately the same length of the like standalone story, but it will have like 4, 5, or 6 really small stories that basically getting you up to date and what was happening for past 2 weeks. For example, like the Tesla story with the recall. The Tesla recall every single Cybertruck because of that acceleration pedal, which is separate with the panel on the top of the pedal and slides under the dash, stuck at 100%, and your truck is now just accelerating with the speed 2.6 seconds from 0 to 60, and you kind of screwed. But that's a good thing that if you press the brake pedal, it will overpower or disengage the acceleration, which is a good thing, because a lot of people probably will freak out and that's it. It's like end of the story. You're driving like 160 miles per hour in 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Like, okay, goodbye, everybody. I'll try to work on that starting the next episode, which is coming in 2 weeks. As I stated, it's going to be every 2 weeks. And this is basically it. So if you did like the video, make sure to put the thumbs up button there. This is greatly will help me as the creator. Also, it will that's the best help for the channel. If you like the content, if you want to see more of that, make sure to put the thumbs up button there. Also subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.